Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Mr. Payne bringing you Unit 6, Lesson 1, Simplifying Expressions Involving Exponents. We're going to take a look at exercise number 1. Each of the following problems involves basic exponent ideas. Answer each to review your previous knowledge. So A, 6 to the third power. Let's just recall that my 6 is my base in this case and my 3 is my exponent. So 6 to the third power is going to say 6 times 6 times 6. That's what that would look like. Do not evaluate the product. B, we're going to save for a warm-up in class. C, we're going to talk about here x to the third times x to the fifth. Well, if I go with the same premise as A, I would say 3x's, and they're all multiplied together, times 5x's. So how many x's do I have altogether? Well, if you counted all your exponents up, and there's little ones on each one of these, you're going to get x to the 8th. Well, if you notice, all you have to do is add my exponents. 3 plus 5 is going to give me 8. So when I'm multiplying my bases, I add my exponents, and that is all review for you. We're going to take a look at D quickly so that you remember that that little 2 means I want to see 5x to the third 2 times. And I just said, as a reminder, what we did, we multiply my coefficients. 5 times 5 is going to give me 25. And I add my exponents. So 3 plus, and this should be a 3 over here, I apologize. 3 plus 3 is going to give me 6. So my final answer is 25x to the 6th. The next part of that question reads, though, and I'll change it to blue, what is the value of a plus b? Well, my a is my coefficient, my b is my exponent. So 25 plus 6 is 31. And all they're doing is getting you to apply whatever your a is and what your b is. They won't ask you this part in blue on a regular basis. We're now going to go to exercise number 2. Consider the expression 2x to the 6th divided by 4x squared. We're going to write the expression as a product of two fractions, one of which is equal to 1. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write out 2, and then I'm going to write out 6 x's. X, 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 all over 4x squared, so times 2 x's. I'm going to get my red marker out, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take care of my coefficients first. 2 divided by 4 is going to give me 1/2. Now I'm going to say, all right, this x cancels that x out, this x cancels that x out. How many x's do I have remaining? And where are they left? Are they left on the top or are they left on the bottom? Well, they are left on the top, and I have 4 of them, so I have x to the 4th. So my final answer is going to give you 1x to the 4th over 2. It's really important for you to notice where those x's are left. We're going to go right down to example number 3 and continue the same process. I have 7 5s on the top, and I have 3 5s on the bottom. So let's see here. I have 5, 5, 5, 5, 7. 5 7s on the top and 3 on the bottom. And I know they look like S's. I'm just doing it quickly. Cancel, cancel, cancel. How many 5s do I have left? Count right here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 5 to the 4th as my final answer. Now, if you notice, what can I do here? In the first exercise, we said we're going to multiply my coefficients and add my exponents. In this case, because we're dividing, we are going to divide my coefficients and subtract my exponents. So divide my coefficients, divide your co's, and subtract your expos. Let's try that with question or example B. I have x to the 4th up top, and I have 10 x's on the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, and I'm going to grab my blue. I'll cancel out, cancel out, cancel out, cancel out. What am I left with? When I cancel everything out on the top, I'm left with a 1 on the top, which is really important because it just doesn't go away. And how many x's am I left with on the bottom? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have 1 x to the 6th. Now I still do the same thing. I can subtract my exponents there. What is 10 minus 4? I say 6, but you notice that the 10 is larger than the 4, so my answer is going to be on the bottom. 1 over x to the 6th. Let's try it with c again. I have x to the 4th, y to the 8th, divided by x to the 1st, y to the 10th. So what is 4 minus 1? 4 minus 1 is 3. Which one is larger, the top or the bottom? You should say the top. So I have x to the 3rd on the top over, I have 10 minus 8, which is y squared. That is going to be left at the bottom because the 10 is larger than the 8. So I put my answer at the bottom. We are going to now continue with exercise number 4 with question A and B because they are more complicated problems. So I want to just give you enough examples for you to be successful in class. A, 3x squared raised to the 3rd power. That little 3 there, if you remember from earlier, you want to write it down 3 times. So you're going to say 3x squared times 3x squared times 3x squared, all divided by 9x to the 4th. Well, before I can go ahead and cancel anything out, I have to simplify the top. 3 times 3 times 3 is going to give me 27. X to the 2 plus 2 plus 2 is going to give me the 6th. All over 9x to the 4th. Remember, you're going to do 27 divided by 9 because those are my coefficients. These are my coefficients, right? So 27 divided by 9 is 3. And then I'm going to subtract my exponents, which gives me x to the 2nd. And that is my final answer. Go ahead and try to do question or exercise 4B all on your own so that we can go over it the first thing in class. Thank you. Have a great night. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask.